Take a listen at this fiery address that was delivered by the President of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, as he met a delegation of Pan-Africanism champions from at least 22 African and non-African countries, who had participated in the 2025 Thomas Sankara African Crossroads International Meeting in Ouagadougou, in the morning of October 17, 2025. It is an address in which the 37-year-old leader was handed a manifesto for a new Pan-Africanism as a show of support for his revolution and fight, and in which he faulted the African Union as being a toothless organ that is still controlled by imperialists, and called on the Pan-Africanists to continue speaking up and educating the youth, since he believes that a shift in mentality, the fight against imperialism and the pursuit of revolution hold a better future for Africa.
Camarades, bonjour.
Good morning, comrades. I am very happy and very moved to receive you this morning, and I would like to say thank you to all who came to Ouagadougou to support us, honor us and accompany us in this event, which is not necessarily easy, but a challenging event, and I think that you have given the sign for it to be a success. This university meeting that has been organized is only a small part of what we wish to see in Africa. Only by raising awareness through education can we be able to support our revolutions and change the face of Africa. It's only a beginning, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking your time and energy to give knowledge to exchange with your brothers not just in Burkina Faso, but also throughout Africa. Because you are followed through the digital platforms today, which has succeeded in breaking down the barriers, and which have succeeded in blurring the voices of the imperialists who before these digital platforms were only the souls who could get their message across through their radios. So I thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for this message. Thank you for this encouragement that you came to give us, and I thank you 1,000 times for coming again this second time. I think that today everyone will understand that the world order, as you so rightly said, has only two camps and everyone will have to choose their camp. Those who claim to be neutral have either completely misunderstood or perhaps have their brains turned off. It must be said clearly, there is no possible neutrality. There are oppressors, there are the oppressed, and there is a revolutionary. A revolutionary loves all people. The proof is that there are many who have come from other continents to support and help us in this fight, because every person who aspires, all the people who aspire to be part to this development, to this harmony, to this union that we want between the peoples of the world are united by the bonds of the revolution. That's why there are no barriers, and a revolutionary loves people. Wherever there are pressures, wherever there are people who are dominated by other individuals, revolutionaries must be able to speak out, and so thank you to you who came from the European and American continents and everywhere to support us, because the Thomas Sankara cause is alive. Certainly on October 15, 1987, we thought we had assassinated the man and his ideas. We tried to destroy all the archives, even through our national television. People tried to destroy who could exist. They are witnesses. You can go to RTB, ask them. All the archive boxes were emptied. Try to completely erase the facts of Thomas Sankara. Thankfully, some were able to preserve many things from him. Today more than ever we realize that man, yes, the flesh, has gone, but the spirit remains in the world. Today, many African heads of state are hiding behind a so-called African-style democracy, perhaps trying to copy their imperialist master, but today democracy is showing its limits. It has developed and reached its peak. Today it is in decline. We must recognize this. We must succeed in creating our model, and our model is African, And as they say, if the meaning of the word democracy is as they say, it is because it was born in Africa. So here we have our way of seeing things. We must become African again and accept to live as Africans. As our current comrade Thomas Sankara said, this is the only way to live free and with dignity. So I call on you today to pass this message to the whole world, especially to the youth, who today more than ever need to awaken their consciences. As I said, everything starts there. If the youth does not know, if the youth does not understand the world of today, does not understand anything about geopolitics, you can turn on their lands, and they will never be able to understand the approach of the revolution. It goes without saying that from now on, wherever we are, that we can pass the message of our history, where we come from, what we are doing today, why the world is like this, so that people can understand the train of the revolution, and that we can move towards a harmonious development, towards a real African Union. Because this African Union that we call a facade today, we don't feel it. There is no union. The continent is torn apart by wars, and all this is through the manipulation of the imperialists. They only want to see us tear each other apart, kill each other while our wealth is plundered. But the message must get through. We must raise awareness. We must stop talking. Some will say that many of you perhaps talk a lot. I was accused of this for a long time, but we must always speak out. I once met a certain president. He told me he was the father of the revolution. Every day he spoke on the radio, and he himself said that people kept wondering why he spoke to people every day. He knew that you always have to speak so that people understand the message and so that the message of imperialism cannot get through. Today more than ever he understood it, and he came just to encourage me to continue talking. While on the continent, our brothers who perhaps have not yet understood anything, say that we talk too much. And often it is the so-called intellectuals who perhaps have not understood, who have been totally formatted by the Western system, by the imperialist system, which finds that we talk too much, because they cannot understand and perceive the message that we are conveying. Unfortunately, this is their weakness too, but we must continue to talk. Our young people must wake up. Right before coming here, I went to encourage a young lady who was fought back in the days when she tried to turn our cotton into medical cotton wool products, which are used in medicine and everything. She was fought, her factory had been closed, her machines were all dismantled and put away. But when we arrived we tried to support her and the factory reopened. This morning I went to see what is happening. Africa is just asking for that. Produce, transform and consume. And we will continue to encourage these hours of initiation. But all of this is through changes in mentality, and also, I would say, by forcing the hand of some people. And that is the revolution. Because changing the mentality of the bourgeoisie is difficult. And it is this bourgeoisie which oppresses and which continues to conjugate with imperialism, because they have the means and also communicate. They use all channels to bring young Africans to stagnate. This is how young Africans find themselves taking on water to end up dying in their thousands in the ocean while trying to reach the El Dorado, if we can say so. But we must succeed in creating it here, and it is possible. We have launched ourselves into this revolution, and I think that today for Africa it is the only path that can allow us to develop. Beyond that, I do not see any other method that can resist the maneuvers of imperialism and its local valor on the ground. You won't be able to move forward. They will always put obstacles in your way, through the texts that the imperialists themselves put forward, which led him to develop, through the institutions that the imperialists helped to establish in our states. We must be able to break all this so that Africa can resurface, unite and move forward. Wars have torn us apart too much. Talk about wars, talk about trying to touch their hearts. We are at war in Burkina, we know where it comes from and understand our battles. But when we look at the history of certain countries, it breaks our hearts even more. Sudan, Congo, in short, there are countries where people are dying by the thousands, brothers tearing each other apart all day long. Here, there are individuals manipulated by imperialism who are sitting on the other side, who send them a little money, decarbonize weapons and ammunition, and they kill their brothers. They frolic through the countryside, kill without even knowing why they do it, but all this is because the brains are still switched off. You must be able to switch on the brains of many Africans so that we can wake up, and it is serious. And it is through communication that you already did very well, and I encourage you to be able to continue these meetings. We have created the Institute of Black People, and we are in the process of operationalizing it. I hope that everyone will participate in person or by video conference to continue to educate our youth, so that they take their responsibilities, so that they understand the world, and that Africa can finally wake up and that we can sign and live with dignity and freedom. And as I said again, a revolutionary loves all people. It is politicians who often cause people to be confused. But politicians must not divide people. And so let us work, regardless of our position, to unite people and not to divide them. But we have to somehow get them to change their approach in Africa, and we will continue to talk even if it is not diplomatic, but we will do it. Finally, I thank you very much. We could spend the whole year talking, we will not finish, but there are so many subjects, so many fields to plow, and we must begin with one part. So I encourage you to begin the plow now, and if it pleases God, I am sure that we will succeed in changing things in Africa and that the African Union will be a reality. Good luck to all. I pray to God that you all return safely to your respective countries, to your homes. May God bless you, may He protect you, and may we meet again for the next ceremony and on other occasions to continue to awaken the continent, to unite and bring us closer. Thank you very much to all. May God protect you.